at the center of your shins. So rather than the ankles, try to walk your feet closer together so your knees, further apart, so your knees come closer together. Hey, looking good. Getting lower. Lift one leg and roll the front thigh in and the back thigh out, and then do that on the other side. And observe how that helps broaden your pelvic floor. Roll to the forward edge of the sit bones, drawing the sacrum in and up, and continue that lift up through the central channel. So there's an effortless lift of your torso. Release the inner thighs to the inner knees. Make your teacup hands and place your hands behind you. Lift and roll your upper arm bones back. Draw the shoulder blades down. Press the fingertips down. And rooting the outer hips and thighs down, lift the sides of the body up. Outer hips to armpits. And maintain that much lift. Center, yes, and sides, not just the center, not just the front. Yeah. So find it from here. Find some sensation on the side body lift. Yes. Lean a little bit forward, Johanna. Yeah, more. There. Shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Release your hands to your thighs. Lift the base of the skull up off the top of the neck so the chin releases just the teeniest bit down. It's more so the back of the neck is long, and that will also help you lift the chest. And take your hands into chin mudra. So your index finger and thumb touch, and then turn your palms down, and that's Jnana mudra when you turn the palms down. And begin to observe the flow of your breath. Let your eyes look down and either softly close or remain open but looking down. And allow your breath to deepen and lengthen. And allow your breath to permeate all the parts of your body, bringing awareness, bringing oxygen, bringing energy, life force to all the cells of your body. So spread from the center of your body to the sides, center to top and bottom, and to the peripheries, the arms and legs, hands and feet, toes and fingers up into the brain. So sense and feel that your whole body is energy and light and color and vibration. And then bring your hands to Namaste Mudra. Bring your palms together. Take the sides of your thumbs to the bottom of your sternum and lift. Press and lift, bottom to top. Take your fingers up and bring your fingers together. Lift your upper arm bones a little bit and roll the upper arm bones back and from the shoulder blades on the back so the elbows come down as the hands and chest lift up. Take a deep breath in and out, and then we'll chant our opening prayer, call, and response. And we'll do Om together. So take a deep breath in and out. And then inhale deeply for Om. Om. Sahana Vavatu. Sahanao Bhunaktu. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Tejasvi Navaditam Astuma Vidvishavahai. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take a little deeper breath, lift your heart. As you exhale, release your head over forward. Release your hands to your thighs. Pause here and breathe with your head bowed over to your heart. Curl the tip of the chin in towards the notch at the clavicles in Jalandhara Bandha, soft throat seal. Draw the tailbone a little towards the pubic bone and lift the pelvic floor. Widen your diaphragm at your lower ribs and draw the sides of the waist back. So you have a light Uddiyana Kriya. And allow the energy in your brain, eyes, and other senses to descend into your heart center. So you come out of your thinking brain and arrive fully and completely in your sensing and feeling body. And as you descend into your heart center, expand not just at the front, but also at the back and the sides. So that as if you're sensing and feeling everything from your heart center. And then with your eyes closed on an inhale, slowly curl up the back of your neck and level your ears over your shoulders, shoulders over your hips. And with your eyes closed, raise your gaze to level and take your eyes to the back of your head and soften and broaden your internal focus. And once again, drop into your heart center and imagine that you're looking in all directions from your heart center as you allow your eyelids to gently float open. And then go ahead and extend your legs and loosen up a little bit. And then we'll sit on the heels and go over forward, Virasana forward. Okay, so you can take whatever support that you need for that. Stand the big toes, widen the knees, compress the legs. So if you need some softness under your knees and shins, you can take that. You can take a roller under your ankle. If you like, you can take something between your hips and heels as needed. So we do a little forward bend. So go just a little wider, Johanna, with your knees. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then maintain for just take a moment and observe how you're descending, right? Shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Okay. So let your weight settle into your seat. Find your tailbone, move it towards your pubic bone, lift the pelvic floor. That's Mula Bandha. Widen here, look here at your lower front ribs and draw the sides of the ribs back and the sides of the waist back a little. That's a slight Uddiyana Kriya, slight hollowing of the abdomen. And then lifting the center and the side body, just descend the chin a little bit down, slight Jalandhara. So your gaze is looking down. Now you can keep your pelvis look down, a little Tony, and drop your chin down more. Yes, yeah. Draw your ribs back a lot. Your ribs, that's your belly. Yeah. So look here. Yeah. Yeah. So not so much from here, but here. Yes. So when you lift the chest, this is what happens, right? So you try to restrain that and then move your thoracic vertebrae in towards your sternum and up, right? Even as you release the head down. Yeah. And then you try to sort of maintain these actions as we go over forward, best you can. Okay. So you start to pivot, right? So your pelvis rolls around the head of the femur bones. Just bring your hands to your hips for a moment. Hook your thumbs into your outer thighs and pull down. Okay, so that's your smiling hip crease. So as you go forward with your hips, don't roll your thighs in, right? Keep the outer hips rolling out, even as the inner groins roll in. Okay, so that's where the big hinge of the body is, right? At the pelvis. And you can even put your fingers now in the depths of your groins like this. And so as you go over forward, let those deepen and hollow and soften and spread. And then observe how your pelvis and your torso are rotating around the stability of your thigh bones. Okay, then bring your hands on the ground and just pause for a few breaths and breathe here. So again, just observe how your pelvis, which is the bottom of your spine and torso, is moving around the stability of your thigh bones, which aren't moving. Okay, observe that. But let the skin and the flesh move and the fascia and so on, and the bones, right? Moving around the bones. Elongate the back of the neck, tucking the chin in towards the clavicular notch. Firm your arm muscles, squeeze your muscles to your bones, and press down into your hands and forward into your fingers to bring your buttocks more towards your heels. Now look here, not to move your thoracic spine into your skin. Thoracic is your rib cage. So from the bottom, T12 on up, move that spine in and towards the sternum and towards the collarbones. Yes, Faina. And at the same time, take the chin in towards the chest. Yes, and draw the sides of the throat up a little so the back of the neck is long and in line with the rest of the spine. And again, tuck the chin more, Faina. Drop the head a little. Yes, find that. And then walk a little forward and go slow. Press down into the hands, forward into the fingers, and imagine someone's got their thumbs hooked in your outer hips, pulling those back as your sacrum rolls around, right? And the pelvis rolls around the head of the femur bones. Feel the length in the sides of the body, from the outer hips to the armpits, and the armpits to the elbows to the wrists. Roll the shoulder blades around to the outer edges of your back. As you roll the hands and forearms in, press into the inside edge of your fingers, outside edge of your thumbs. And breathe into the back body. And then at some point, as you get closer to the ground, you can shimmy your ribs in between your thighs. Imagine someone's gently pressing on your shoulder blades to bring your armpits closer to the ground. And then tuck your chin and bring it in towards the clavicular notch again. And bring the head down at the hairline. So you keep those bandhas a little bit, right? Tailbone a little bit in towards the pubis, sides of the waist back of the neck long, tuck the chin in towards the chest. Breathe into the back body. And if your head is not going to come towards to the ground, you can always use support of a blanket or a block, right? So as you lower the head, you elongate, yep. And keep the arms firm as if you were in downward facing dog. Push down into the hands, push forward into the fingers, lift the elbows and broaden the shoulder blades at the same time. Squeeze the elbows in and up even as you wrap the shoulder blades around to the outer edges of the back. And just maintain the right amount of firmness so that you're supported in the pose. And breathe. So you're pushing with your hands down and forward to bring your buttocks more towards your heels, right? Keep sending the breath into the back body and working the shoulder blades around to the outer edges of the back, even as you firm the elbows in and up. And breathe. You can go a little wider in your knees in so you can get your ribs. Yes, there you go. You have to teach your kids to sit on you right here. One on each hip. I'll be careful because I know your knees. So you're pushing into, yes, is that okay? Mm-hmm. Pushing into your hands to bring your buttocks back, even as you move the spine in towards the front body and forward and the sides of the body, right? Forward, yeah. Roll the shoulders open, yeah. Lift your head. Now tuck your chin a lot, yes. So, you know, you could use a little less, but so now you're getting all that length, right? Good. Okay, now come onto your hands and knees and we're going to go into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So this pose, one could do this pose as a home practice. It's very relaxing, right? And it prepares you for downward facing dog. So you should do this at home. I highly recommend it. Okay, so then when you're coming up into down dog, reset your hand, like look at your hands and so have your hands a little forward of your shoulders, not right under your shoulders, and look at your wrist creases. See that they point straight ahead. Roll to the inner edge of your fingers, outer edge of your thumbs, and then suck the energy of the palms, that's Hasta Bandha, up through the hands into the shoulders. So firm your arm muscles to the bones and lift up off your wrists, even as you push down into your hands and forward into your fingers. So there's a muscular pushing and an energetic lifting. Okay, and broaden the shoulder blades to the outer edges of your back. Don't squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Broaden. Now, and also lift your, as you're here, lift your rib cage up into your shoulder blades. Not rounding into cat so much, but making that connection so you don't drop down, right? Just make that firm connection, shoulder blades to back. So that's your mid-back core. Stay firm there.
And then push your buttocks back towards your heels. Curl your toes under. Draw your outer ankles in and let your head drop completely down. So don't use your neck. Pull your waist in a little and look at your feet in between your knees. So really press the big toe mounds and the whole ball of the foot down and press down into the hands, forward into the fingers. Firm the elbows in and up. And then lift your knees and hips up. Release your head and torso down. And keep your heels lifted. Look at your feet. Take your inner ankles back, right? And observe that your inner ankles and outer ankles and heels are even, right? And then lift up from your inner ankles to your inner knees, to your inner thighs, to your inner groin at your pelvic floor. And take that back, the inner groin at the pelvic floor. Move that back. And then lift the outer ankles to the outer knees to the outer hips without rolling to the outside edges of your feet. Maintain the evenness in your ankles. And then outer knees to outer hips. Imagine someone's hooking their thumbs in your outer hips and pulling them back. And then lift the head of the shin bone up off the top of the foot. And then lift the kneecaps up, inner and outer, top edge. And then imagine someone's pressing your whole thigh bone directly back. So reach your heels back and down. Reach the heels towards the outside edge of your foot and land your outer heels first. And lift your toes if your heels land. And spread your toes and lift your arches of your feet. And lift the shin bones and lift the front legs up as you root the back legs down. Right? The heels root down. Release the head and breathe into the back body. Yeah, turn your hands a little out, Johanna, so your wrist crease point straight ahead. Yeah, no, and don't overextend the thumbs. Okay, spread the middle 3 fingers and press there. Yeah, walk your feet a little forward and widen your feet just a little. Good. That's better. Okay, get the weight in your legs. Let it be a leg pose instead of an arm pose. Okay, but maintain firmness in your arms. Firm elbows in and up, and not to bend the elbows. Yeah, good. Okay. Yes. Good. And then walk your feet forward and or your hands back and come to Uttanasana, standing forward bend. So you can use your block here if you need to. Okay. And for your first forward bend, widen your feet towards your outer hips and see that your feet are parallel. Bend your knees a little and ankles so that your hips fold over your thighs, just like we did in that Virasana forward. Let your hips release over your thighs. Let your torso release, tail to head. Bring your hands down alongside your feet. And just take a few breaths here. Let your head be heavy like an anchor, pulling your spine down. And broaden the shoulder blades at the top edge and lift them up away from the ears. And then slowly begin to release the hamstrings from the backs of the knees up to the sitting bones and broaden the backs of the thighs. And slowly begin to root down into your heels. And when your legs feel comfortable to come straight, then you lift the kneecaps up. Okay, take your time and breathe here. And adjust your weight, shift your weight a little forward. Most of us tend to hang back, right? So you want your buttocks more forward. Yep. Outer hip over outer knee over outer ankle. So if you lean back, that's actually sharp on your hamstrings. It feels hard, or bend your knees just the teeniest bit. Yeah, that's way too much. That's way too much. Straighten your legs. Straight. Now bend your knees the teeniest. That's enough. That's teeny. Okay. Could even be less. And take your inner knees to your outer hips. So your knees point straight ahead and look at your feet. Keep landing on the inner and outer edges of the feet evenly. Yeah. And observe. And as you exhale, shake the waist up and release the torso down. Release the hamstrings up. If you can find a release of the hamstrings up. Soften your knees a little. Soften your knees. Both knees. Yes. Yes. And then slowly, don't shove the knees back, right? But observe. Yes. Good. Okay. And then coming up, come to your fingertips so that your hands are just a little in front of your leg and lift your head up. So here you can use your blocks because we're going to come up, right? Lift your kneecaps and firm your thigh muscles to your bones. Pull your lower belly in towards your spine and let your sitting bones drop down towards your heels. And then look forward more. Take your hands to your hips and then lift the frontal hip points up. Pull the belly in and take the tailbone forward towards the pubis as you come up. And then extend your arms down and bring your feet hip bone width distance
apart in Tadasana. See that the inner and outer ankles are even and the outer edges of the feet are parallel. Lift your toes and spread. Ooh. And when you lift your toes, observe how the weight shifts back, right? Now look down at your feet, take the inner ankles apart from each other, and then draw the outer ankles in across the top of the foot to the big toe mound and plant the inner and outer ankles even and the big toe mounds down, inner and outer arches of the feet even, soles of the feet even, outer ankles in and across the top to the big toe mounds a little more. Fernanda, yeah, yes, like that. Yes, more, a little more, yes. Now you're even, look at your feet and see that. And see how you tend to do more like this. Yeah, so you have to do more like this. Yes. And maintain, soften your knees a little. Don't lock your knees. Bend your knees a little. Yes. Just a little. Uh-huh. Yeah. And not to roll your thighs in, right? Inner thighs apart. Inner knees to outer hips. So your knees point straight ahead. Yes, yes. Hug your outer calves in. Yes. Good. Inner thighs to bones. So not to collapse your inner thighs, even as you firm your outer hips and thighs in. Lift your inner, you can lower the toes, but don't collapse the arches. And when you lower, go slow. Yeah. Inner ankles to inner knees to inner groins. Do that lift again. And spread the pelvic floor. Inner groins apart from each other, even as you firm the outer hips and calves and shins in. And then root down from your outer hips to your outer feet, right? Inner groins back, Tony. Inner groins back. So here, look here, look here. Yes, more. Yes, more. No, back. Don't do whatever you're doing. So you're doing something like, right? Here's your inner groin. Here's back. Yes. So your groin pit should be deep as your armpit. Yes, my dear. Now relax this. Okay. Soften that a little. Yes. There we go. Good. So it's always finding the right amount of effort and release, right? Yes. And extend your arms down. Imagine you have weights on your fingers, pulling your arms down, elbows straight. So your forearms go a little bit back behind you. And then you have space to find that reverse C in the armpit chest, right? So not to pull the shoulder blades back, no, but back of the armpit to the front of the armpit up, inner edge of the shoulder blades down without pushing the ribs forward. Yes, good. Yes, there, right about there. Pull your arms down in order to lift your chest straight up. Yes, yes, good. Eyes soft, jaw soft, face soft, throat soft, brain soft. Chin up a little, Fernanda. Ears over the shoulders, chin straight back. Chin straight back. Chin up a little, Suman. Yep, chin straight back. And up and back. There. Ears are more over the shoulders now. Yeah. Good. Extend your fingers. Good. Right thigh more back. Push your, yes. Good. And your shoulder can go back a little. Turn a little to the right. Just no, not your whole body, just your rib cage. And that's enough. Good. Good. Soft eyes and firm elbows and knees. And then inhale without moving anything in your whole body except your arms. Take your arms up overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. Good. Now, firm your elbow joints. Yes. And squeeze your upper arms in. Broaden the top edge of the shoulder blades, bringing the armpits towards the face. And then turn your hands. You can look at them so they face each other. So the upper arms move one way, the forearms move a little bit another way so that the inner elbows, wrist creases, palms face in. And you don't pull your fingers out. They go straight up. Look at your hands and see if you're doing something funny with your wrist. Straight up. Yeah, look at your hands, Em. Turn your hands in. Yeah, no, the other way. Towards each other. Yeah, that, yeah. Yes. And arms more back, a little bit more back. Yeah, and a little less towards each other. Just soften. Now, as you lift the arms up, lift the sides of the body up. Outer hips to the armpits. Lift. Lift from the armpits to the elbows to the wrists. Yes. Now find the inner edge of the shoulder blades and soften those down. Soften your shoulder blades more and more down and don't pull them down. Soften. Yep. Yes. More like that. Now you can breathe. Yes. Straighten your elbows. Straighten your elbows. So there's a lazy elbow, right? Or tight or whatever it is. Yeah. Good. Inner thighs back, inner groins back, tailbone forward, top thighs back, side of the sacrum forward. Firm your pelvis. Good. Stay there and breathe. A little bit more. Arms up and back. And see if you can find happiness here. Like you could do this for the rest of your life and be at ease. Down. Yeah. Now take your, yeah, more up and back. Yes, more. And breathe. Head up a little and breathe. Head up. Yes. Good. Here. Butt forward a little. No, this way. Yes. Arms up and back. Yes. Exhale, lower your arms. Good. So see, everything moves, right? So you want to maintain here. And then you have to find, I have to maintain something here, but here I have to find some freedom, right? In order to get the length. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do down dog at the ropes. So if you have a rope wall at home, you can use that, or you can hook a rope around a doorknob. And if you don't have those items, then you can just do heels at the wall, down dog, okay? And then if you get tired, you can turn around and do hands at the wall. So you're going to take a blanket and just move your mat out of the way so you don't get confused. So when you're just doing one rope, okay? And so you're going to take a blanket. Can I have your blanket? Okay, and then you do like this. So you can, it's going to go around where the rope hits you, right? So like that, okay? And see how the hook is going to be in between my legs. Watch first, just watch me first. And you want to have a couple of blocks handy, okay? So here's the crease of the groin. So that's where you want the belt, not on your upper thighs, right? And not above your hip, right? But right at the crease of the groin. And then you lean into it and you go into a forward bend. You can bring your hands down, and then I'm not in a good position if you don't want to have your foot on the grate here, but you're going to bring your heels up the wall, right? And not too high. See how my heels aren't that high? And then you reach your arms forward, and then the ropes pull your hips back. So you get to feel how then you can release all this stuff, right? And then you can firm your arms without weight bearing and be in downward facing dog. Okay, and then we'll come up to Uttanasana for a few breaths, and then we'll come through here and come up. So have your blocks handy, okay, so you can use them. So weird to talk with these things in my ears. I feel like I'm underwater. Okay, so walk your hands forward, Suman, down dog, right? You don't need the blocks probably for down dog. Some people might, but you will maybe want them for Uttanasana. Bring your feet a little closer together, Suman, and be even each side of the rope, of the hook. Yes. Maybe a little wider with your feet. Yeah, but even. Each side even. Yeah, because you want to be even with them. So bring your left foot in more. Yes. Yes. Right? Yeah. And then reach your arms more forward. Come on, go. Yes. Good. Heels are too high, Fernanda. Even out your feet on either side of the hook. Yeah, reach your, there you go. Good. Good. So can you feel that rope pulling your thighs back for you? Yes. Reach your arms forward, Fernanda. Put your hands on the blocks, palms flat. Put the blocks flat. Put the blocks flat. Down a notch. No, that's up. Down. One more down. There you go. That's flat. Reach your arms more forward. Walk your hands more forward. Yes. Squeeze your elbows in. Release your head. Let your head drop. Yes. Good. You okay there, Fernanda? Okay. Good. So check your feet. See what your feet are doing, right? So you want to take your inner ankles back. So you got to roll the outer ankle across the front of the ankle to the inner ankle and move that inner ankle back. So the inner and outer ankles are even. And then you lift. That's a stirrup of your foot. Then you lift the ankles up to the knees, and then lift the knees up to the hips and thighs. And keep rolling the inner thighs back and feel how that, it's like someone's got the hands on your outer hips, pulling your outer hips back. Yeah. Even the outer edges of your feet. So the outer edges, and you want to see what your ankles are doing, right? Especially if you have naughty ankles. Okay. Outer ankle, cross. Yes. To the inner. Yes. Yes. Good. That's it. And then lift the outer legs up. Take the inner groins back. Widen the space of the pelvic floor and let the sacrum release down over the thigh. Yes. Spread the fingers. Lift the elbows in and up. Squeeze like this. Yes. Turn your arms. Yes. So as your upper arms go this way, your hands and forearms go this way. Yes. Right there. Good. Okay. Okay. Very good. Now walk your feet forward, hands back, come to Uttanasana, standing forward bend. You probably won't need the blocks yet, but you're going to need them to come up. Okay. So have your hand block handy. And if you don't need them to come up, you don't need them. And that's fine too. So you want to walk your feet all the way forward and maintain the tautness of the rope, right? At the tops of your thighs. So then you can release your torso down over that. Yeah. Good. And you can play around with softening your knees and ankles so that your hips can fold over more, right? So that your pelvis, just like in Virasana forward, is rotating over the head of the femur bones. So play around with bending your knees a little, bend more, yeah, and your ankles, right? And then see if that allows your hips to, you don't have to bend quite so much, and keep your knees a little forward. Yeah, now bend your, yeah, let your torso fall down, because you get in the habit of holding your torso hard and tight so you don't let it go, right? Bring your hands beside your feet. Let your head go. Let your torso go. Yes. Now, take a million years to slowly release your hamstrings up without lifting your torso. Stop there. Stop there. Breathe. Soften a little. Just the teeniest bit. Release here more. Yes. Release your arms. You don't have to hold yourself up. Yes. Let your torso release, tail to head. Yes. And then straighten a little more. Play like that. Okay. Explore. And breathe into the tightness in your hamstrings. Don't avoid that. Breathe into your tight areas and your back, the whole back body. Yes. Walk your feet more forward, Fernanda. Good. Widen your inner knees. No, keep your feet where they are. Widen your inner. Yes. See how you can fold more? Yes. Good. Yeah. The row you have this is next time we'll have to change that through. Okay. Bend your knees a little, Tony. Widen your inner thighs a lot and knees. Widen your knees a lot. Yeah. Now stop there and release your torso. Release. Yes. Release. Okay. Okay. Widen your inner. Yes. Go wide. As wide as you can, like Baddha Konasana. Yes. Now release your torso toes on your thigh. Yeah. Still tight. Okay. Now slowly straighten and maintain as much as you can. Torso down. Lower. Push your heels down. Push down. Don't push your knees back. Release your hamstrings up and forward that way. Yeah. Good. And release here. You can do this. Yeah. Okay. Straighten your legs now. And then we're going to come up. Okay. So you bring your hands on the block and extend your torso. Head up. Concave back and have the hands right under the shoulders. Yeah, take the block as high. Go ahead, Johanna, just use the block because this is new to you. And go to the highest height of the blocks, everyone. You're okay, Emily, where you were. You're fine. Yeah, but Johanna, go to the highest height of the block. Yes, be on your fingertips. Yes, like this. These are teacups. Yeah, like that. Now extend your torso forward, look forward, chin forward, chest forward. Take your chin forward any amount and up. Yes, observe how that absorbs your upper back. Can you feel that? Good. Good. Be on your fingertips, Fernanda. Go higher. Yes. Take your chin forward more. Chin up. Yes. And forward. Yes. Buttocks down to the heels, belly to the spine. Inhale, take your arms forward and parallel to the ground and stay there and breathe. Yes. Good. That's it. Now look down. Look down and take your arms higher. Good. Take your armpit chest down more. Take your chest down. Yes. Arms higher. Good. Now take your head forward. Look forward at your hands. Good. And then inhale, come all the way up. Good. And look straight ahead. Beautiful. Good. Straight elbows, armpits towards each other. Yes, Fernanda. Now don't lean into the rope. Walk back. Walk back. Good. Stay there and breathe. Good. Lift your arms up. Yes. Release your shoulder blades down, but don't pull them down. Don't. Arms up. Shoulder blades soften. Just a little softening. Right? Yes, yes, like that. Arms up and back. Squeeze your right arm in more. Right arm in. Right arm. Right arm. Yes. Good. Exhale, lower your arms. Very good. Beautiful. Okay, step out of the ropes. Remove the blanket. Yeah, so I think we have to go a little wider with you next time, maybe 2 blankets, because it doesn't quite go. Yeah, exactly. And so then you're uncomfortable and we don't want that. Yeah. Okay. So now take your yoga mat to the wall so that the hooks are on either side, skinny edge of the mat at the wall, hooks on either side. And then you're going to have 2 blocks. We're gonna do Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle, and then we'll do Parivrtta, revolved, okay? So you have a block at the wall. The long edge is flat and the long edge is at the wall. Okay. And we're going to start with the left leg forward because of our room setup. Okay. So stand in Samastitihi facing the prop wall here. Face the Zoomers. Okay. Wave at the Zoomers. Okay. So now, feet and legs together. Samastitihi. That's it. Good. And firm arms, elbows. Come on, firm elbows, firm arms. So it's not just firm legs, it's firm arms and hand. Yes, that's Tadasana. That's a beautiful Tadasana, Samastitihi. Tony, Messina. Yes, right? You see, now your arms are engaged. Before they weren't, right? And everything's lifted and it's perfect. Okay? You won't hear that often. Well, there's a few things that could be adjusted, but minor. Okay, lift a little more here. Yes, there you go. Chin back more. Yes, good. Pubic up a little. Inner groin stay back as you lift the pubic up, tailbone towards the pubis. Yeah, yes. Good, good. Okay, good. Johanna, she's she's on it, like blue bonnet. Good. So your elbow, so this is, no, don't do that. Here. Yes, that's the bottom of your tricep. And there's like no brain there. Consciousness is dull, right? It's like connective tissue, right? So you have to put your brain there again and again, like you're meditating on your elbow joints being firm. Like, yes, now we're talking. Okay. Yes. A beautiful ballerina. Okay, good. That's it. Now, take your legs apart and you're going to put the outside edge of your right foot on the block. You can step or jump or just walk. Okay, so bring the outside edge of your right foot on the block and then bring your left foot in towards the middle of the room for Utthita Trikonasana. So if you take your arms, your wrists are about over your ankles, okay? So, and then just lower your arms for now. Bring your hands to your hips and be here and breathe. So again, you want to stabilize your Tadasana feet and legs, right? So Emily, go a little less wide. I'm not into the over width. Yeah, that's better. Now you look like more comfortable. For you, I was hard not breathing when I was looking at you, like your legs are going to go into a full split. Yeah, and I know sometimes people do that in Iyengar classes. I'm not a fan of it, but anyway, so don't go too wide. Okay, alrighty. So now be on the outer edges of your feet. Press into the outer edges of your feet. Lift your toes and spread your toes. Yes, and roll to the outer edges of your feet. Yes, then draw the outer ankles in across. Take your heel out more, Tony. Don't let your heel sneak in. Yes. So draw the outer ankle in across the top of the foot to the big toe mound, right? So ground in the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, and the inner and outer edges of the heel kind of in the middle, okay? So those are the four corners or three corners of the feet. You can have the heel be 1 or 2 points in the middle of the heel, right? But find that and lift the arches up. So just like we press muscularly the hands down and then suck the energy of the palms up through the arms to the shoulder sockets, right? Same thing here. So you're rooting down muscularly into your feet and lifting up energetically from the arches through the bones of the legs into the hip sockets. Can you feel that? Yeah, it's like you're lifting your skin up like pants, right? Lower your toes, but maintain the lift of your arches and the firmness of your legs and feet. Good. Hands to hips, bend and turn your left leg out. Okay, and when you turn the leg, it's heel to heel or heel to instep. So take a look at your feet because they don't necessarily behave, okay? All right, good. So now when you turn the leg, you don't turn your hips, okay? Because that's okay. So what I want you to do is take your left hand to the hip crease, bend your knee, and really turn, right? So that hip crease, don't forget the back leg. It can turn a little if it wants, but don't turn by turning the back leg. Turn by turning the front leg, yes. Externally rotate the head of the femur bone in the hip socket. So here's the head of the femur bone. You have to roll it under towards the inner groin in that way, okay? Keep the knee bent. Bend the knee, yeah. And observe, is your knee turning in, right? Look at your knee, yeah. So you have to draw the inner knee to the outer hip in such a way that your thigh, knee, shin, ankle, and foot, they're all, yes, Fernanda, in the same line. Now press into the inside edge of that foot. At the same time, press into the outside edge of the back foot, like a scissor. Can you feel it? Now lift the kneecap up, engage the quadricep as you press into the inner foot, right? And now you feel your calf and your quadricep engage. And don't hyperextend your knee, but straighten your leg slowly by lifting the quadricep. Yeah, that's it. Now curl that left sitting bone under, right? Curl the head of the femur under. Now pay attention to this right leg, right? So as you curl this one under, press the right leg back. So you open the front of your pelvis, maintaining the external rotation of the front leg. Lift the right hip up off the thigh, sorry, left hip. Turn your ribs and waist so they face the side of your mat. Extend your arm. You bring your right hand to the wall, left arm to the middle of the room. Turn your head and look to your left. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, you're going to reach out to the left. Now, as you reach out, you have to turn this hip a little bit more, most of us, in order, so this hip starts to fall down, in order to get this forward bend to the side. And then move your sitting bones back. We'll recorrect when we come down. Don't worry. Move your sitting bones back, right, towards the wall. As you extend the sides of the body, both sides evenly, towards the middle of the room. And then bring your hand down on the block and bring your top hand to your hip. Now, remember that outer head of the femur? Curl the left sitting bone and outer head of the femur under and roll it forward, right? So that presses your left hip forward. Now, touch the top rim of your right pelvis with your right hand and roll the top rim of the right pelvis up and open the front of the hips like we did when we were standing. Yes. And then again, both sitting bones towards the wall, both sides of the torso extend evenly. Now turn the rib cage. So roll your left ribs down and around to the front and roll your right ribs in towards your spine. Take your head back towards your hips, move your hips forward, and then take your top arm up. Good. And take a breath. Yes. Be there and breathe. So let your hip just roll a little this way and move the hips back that way. Yes. Good. Maintain soft bend here. Roll this head of the femur under. Yes. Roll that way as you open here. Yes. This is the top rim of the pelvis opening. Okay. Good. Huh?
It's really
Bend. Huh?
If this is pulling.
Bend the knee a little.
Okay.
Yeah. A little less if you can. Okay. Turn the foot more. You're not all the way turned. Yes. Pull this back so it's under your arm. Yes. Keep the hand to the hip for now. Okay. Okay. And turn the ribs and extend this side of the torso even to this side. So shorten here. Yes. Good. There. Okay. Now take your arm up and then slowly begin to straighten the front leg by pushing here. Push here. Stop. Lift here. Engage this. Stop. Try that. How's that? Okay. And then use your top arm and inhale to come up. Reach with the top arm. Good. Exhale. Turn your feet. Step your legs together. Samasthiti. So if you slow down, you can see your foot and ankle and your lower leg, knee, and upper leg, hip. They're kinematic chain. One affects the other, right? So we always say, oh, it's the knee, it's the knee. No, it's usually the hip or the ankle that affect the knee, okay? So the hip doesn't move, so the knee has to take it and blows out the knee, okay? So all these things of slowing down and really paying attention to your foot and ankle, your knee and your hip, this is gonna retrain, right? And then you slow down and it's not just, oh, here I'm in the pose and breathe, but you're actually feeling like what's happening in that hip, and leg and ankle and foot. I'm actually doing therapy on my hip, ankle, leg, and foot when I do this, okay? Turn the other way. Okay, so now the outside edge, and you can put the block behind you. Outside edge of the left foot to the wall. Walk the right foot to the middle of the room and really make sure you're on the outer edge of both feet, right? Lift your toes and spread. Yep, and feel. So when you parallel your feet, it's the outer edge you want to parallel. So lift your heel. Yes, there you go. Move it out a little. Yeah, maybe that's too much. Right about there, right? Yeah, so your outer edge of the foot parallel. Press into the outer edge of the feet, lift the toes. Yeah, good. Lift the inner ankles up and apart from each other. Yeah, draw the outer ankles in across the top of the feet to the big toe mounds. Plant the big toe mounds, the pinky toe mounds, and the inner outer corner of the middle of the heel. Right? So plant your feet and suck the arches up. Suck the arches up as you root the legs down. Right heel out more. Suman, right heel out more. More. Yes, there you go. That's enough. Yeah. Yes, look at the outer foot. Yes, good. And then lower the toes. Maintain the lift of the legs, right? Lift the pubic, descend the buttock, tailbone a little bit, yes, towards the pubis without pushing the thighs forward. Good. Hands to hips, turn your right leg out. Now, when you turn heel to heel or heel to instep, look here. Look at the crease of the groin. Look at the knee, right? You have to turn this crease so it's all the way. Otherwise, you can't do a forward bend. It's a forward bend and then you roll up. You see? So if you just go, oh, this is as far as I go, that's because you're stopping yourself from going further and then adjusting your pelvis. Okay? So don't get stuck in that. Okay. So now you really turned here, right? But look, the knee you also have to adjust, right? So the knee, the thigh, the crease of the groin, the shin, the ankle, the foot, they're all in one direction. Push into the inner edge of the foot. Push back into the outer edge of this foot. Curl that right sitting bone and head of the femur under. But when you do that, look what happens, Suman, this, right? So you have to resist at the same time the left thigh back. And that's what creates your stability in the pose. Soften your back knee. Suman, yeah, you have to not lock your knee, okay? So press into the outer back foot, inner front foot, and start to straighten the leg. Pressing into the inner front foot, lift the kneecap, engage the quadricep, lift the hip up off the thigh, right? And then you press that left head of the femur back, even as you curl the right femur under, right? Turn the ribs. Lift your right hip off your thigh, Johanna. Yes. Yes. Turn your right leg out more at the knee. Look at what happened to the knee. Yes. Yeah. Extend your arms. Right arm can be on the wall. Left arm can be on the wall. Look to the right. Take a breath. Now, as you go, you're going to reach out and then you get stuck, right? So you have to allow the left hip to roll down and go, right? Go, go, go. And elongate. Sitting bones to the back wall. Both sides of the torso to the middle of the room. Hand on the block so that the wrist is under the shoulder. Yeah. Now find that bottom head of the femur. So your right head of the femur and sitting bone, roll it under and press it forward. Now the other one. So yeah. Yeah. So this is your, sorry, this leg, the back leg. Sorry. No, it's this leg. Yeah, you're right. Right head of the femur, roll it under, press it forward, soften here, don't hyperextend. And then maintaining that firmness, you roll that outer rim of the pelvis up, right? You find that. Okay, press into the outer back foot, inner front foot, and you extend both sides of the torso evenly. Okay. Yes, sitting bones towards the rope wall, torso towards the middle of the room. Then you turn the ribs, roll the right ribs around to the front, roll the left ribs in towards the spine, take the top arm up. Take the head back in line with the hips. Yep, good. Roll this back and soften here. Push into that inner front foot. Yes, good. That's it. Beautiful. Take a breath. Put your hand on the block so you have weight. Yeah, let there be a little. Yes, there you go. Good. Don't look up, just look straight ahead. And draw the chin back. Yes. So the hips and head are in the same line. Yes, and draw the shoulder blades here. Yeah. Good. And breathe. Good. And then use your top arm, outer back foot, and inhale, come up. Good. Lift your right hip up off your thigh, all the way up. Yes. Turn your feet, step your feet together. Samasthiti. Good. Firm elbows, firm knees. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So then as you progress with this, you soften the effort and maintain the alignment, right? You don't hold with 90% of your muscular effort. You're seeing how much effort do I need and how much release? Where am I holding on that's stopping the freedom of movement? How can I release, use less effort, and breathe into the whole shape of the pose? Turn around and do the other side. Okay, so the outside edge of the right foot to the wall, block behind. Okay, check the parallelity of your feet and then bend and turn. Heel to heel or heel to instep. Turn your left leg out. Good. Roll the left sitting bone under. As you roll the outer, so you turn the whole left leg out, right? And then you roll that left sitting bone and head of the femur under. As you resist the left leg back, the right leg, lift the left hip up off the thigh, turn the ribs, extend the arms. Make sure your foot press into the inner front foot, outer back foot, strong legs, look to the left, take a breath, and then exhale. Now, as you go, reach with your bottom arm. And then as you go, let the top hip rolled down a little. Move your sitting bones back towards the rope wall as you reach your arm forward and down. Okay. Hand to the hip. Curl your left sitting bone under, roll it forward and the outer head of the femur, and then roll that right hip up off the top head of that, the inner groin, right? So you're opening the groin up. Does that make sense? Yeah. Extend both sides of the torso evenly. Yeah. Roll the left ribs around. Right ribs into the spine. Forget the arm. Nobody cares. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Yes. Soften a little here. Yes. Good. If this is too low, you can take it up a notch. Okay. Yes. Okay. So you're using the support, right? So that you can find the foundation of the legs and breathe and don't overdo. Okay. Yes. Good. Then take the top arm up and take a breath. Just stay there. Take the, you had your, yeah, I'm just saying, take the arm up and stay there and breathe. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. How does it feel? Good. So you're a 6-pointed star. Tail, head, 2 arms. Turn more. Turn more. Bend your knee a little. And let me have your arm. Yes. Okay. Good. Take your hand to your hip. Straighten your front knee. Slowly, slowly. And roll the ribs around. Yeah. Good. Take this closer. Touch. Yes. Take this back. This back. Yes. Now top arm up. Good. Breathe. And then come up out of the pose. Use your top arm. Use both arms and legs. Good. Turn your legs, step together. Slowly, slowly. Breathe. Samasthiti. Good. So come to your good Samasthiti. Yeah. Soften your knees a little. Saman. Soften. Yeah. Inner groins back when you do that. Yes. Get in there. Chin straight back. Good. Yeah. Good. Vaina. Stay there and breathe. Toes down. Yeah. And then here. Yeah. Yeah. And don't touch your body with your arms. Pull your arms down and back. Straight fingers. Straight, engage, and pull down. Yeah. Yes. You can separate the fingers a little bit so there's space. Yeah. Now pull your chin back. Yes. And ribs back. Front ribs to back ribs. Don't pull your shoulders back. Yeah. Lean forward in your shoulders just a little. Not your shoulders so much, but your upper body. Like that. Yeah. So there's a tendency to lean back in the upper body. Yes. And now maintain that. Yes. There you go. Okay. Turn around to the other side. Good. Okay. Left leg to the left foot to the wall, to the outside edge of the foot to the block. Go wide. Bend and turn. Turn your right leg out all the way. Check the knee, the ankle, the foot. Press into the inner front foot, outer back foot. Curl the head of the right femur forward as you roll the left thigh and hip back. Work towards straightening the leg and lifting the hip up off the thigh. Turn the ribs, extend the arms. Turn the head. Now remember, when you go down, you have to turn a little bit. So as you reach, allow your top hip to roll down a little and then move your sitting bones back that way. As you extend both sides of the torso evenly towards the middle of the room. Yeah. Then take your bottom hand to the block and top hand to the hip. Curl the outer head of your right femur under and move it forward. And then keep your knee out to the side and put your arm right behind your leg. So you can push your knee into your arm, Johanna. Yeah, and externally rotate your knee and yes. There you go. And then work towards a straight leg. And then roll the left hip away, the rim of the pelvis away from the inner right groin as you extend. Yeah. Roll the right ribs down, roll the left ribs back, take your top arm up. Now take your hand to your hip. Take your hand back to your hip. Again, roll the top hip a little down and move the sitting bones back towards the rope wall as you again extend your bottom arm and come forward and down more. Yes. Yes. Good. Keep pulling the outer right hip back and then curl the right sitting bone and femur under and roll the left hip up on top of the right hip. And then turn the ribs. Roll the right ribs around and down. Yes, and then take the arm up again. Good, and don't look up, just look straight ahead. Yeah, keep the neck and head in line with the buttocks. Yes, and breathe. Good. Yes. Okay, yes, too much tension there. Too much, not needed. Okay. Yes, yes, use your legs more than your arms. Press into the outer back foot, inner front foot, extend tail to head. Good, and then inhale to come up using the top arm. Good, that's it. Turn your feet, step your legs together. Namaste. Very good. Take a few breaths and find your Tadasana and breathe. Good. So go ahead and straighten your knees now. Yeah. And see how you're holding a lot of tension right there. Yeah. So not that, right? Yeah. Good. And then when you pull the arms back and down, lift the chest up. Yes. And then a little softness here. Yeah. So that this doesn't go behind. Yes. Here back. Yes. This back. Yes. Yes. But don't sink. Lift everything up. Yeah. Good. There you go. Don't harden this down. Yeah. So don't do that. Yeah. Thumbs down. Yes. Chest up. Yes. Thighs back. Yes. Ribs back. Yes. Chest up. Ribs back. Good. Hard to find. Chin back. Yeah. More back. Yeah. This way. Yeah. But not this. Just the neck. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Good. Now we're going to do Parivrtta Trikonasana, revolved triangle. Okay. So again, turn around the other way. So your left foot's at the wall, but this time, right foot, sorry, this time have about 4 inches from the wall, hands to your hips, from your waist, from your legs. So have your foot about 4 inches from the block. Yeah, your right foot. Now, actually, maybe watch for a second here. You're going to lift your right heel and turn it back so it touches the block, right? And then you're going to bend and turn your left leg out, and you want to be heel to heel, not heel to instep, okay? And you can go a little wider if needed, and you can go a little narrower if needed. So you're turning your hips to face the skinny edge of your mat for Parivrtta Trikonasana, okay? Yep. You can go ahead and turn. So your back foot's too close to the block, Tony. Toe heel your back. Yeah. So look here. Look at how far I am from the block so that I can lift and turn. So if I'm too close, then I have to keep adjusting, right? So take your foot and then lift and turn. But yes, yes, that's a little too much turned out, but right about that. Yeah. Now, if you're too wide, you can scrunch your toes back a little bit, too wide front to back. And you can adjust the back foot and hips, okay? Yeah. Bend your front knee a little to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Good. That's it. So here's your left knee, right? Touch it. Bend it a little. Draw the outer left knee back to the outer left hip. Okay. Feel that? Hook your thumb and pull the outer left hip back, even as you press into the inside edge of the left foot. And look to see that your knee and ankle and foot and hip, they're all in a straight line, right? Now grab your right buttock and pull it around, and the back of the right thigh, and pull it around towards the front. Yes, keep going, Tony. Yes, that's it. Now press into the outside edge of the back foot, press that heel back, press the thigh back, even as you bring the buttock around. Yeah, and keep bringing the left knee back. Yes, to the left hip. Good. Hands to hips, firm waist, inner front foot, outer back foot. Do not hyperextend your front knee. Good. Okay. And then inhale, bring your right arm up. Left hand to hip, left hand to hip. Exhale, you can hook your thumb even in the outer hip, pull it back, right? So your hips move towards the rope wall, press into the inner front foot, outer back foot. As you reach your right arm forward, then you bring your hand on the block on the inside of your foot. And again, draw that knee, that line, outer left knee to outer left hip. Hook the thumb and pull the left hip back any amount towards the rope wall. Now, you want to roll the right buttock around, but you don't want to collapse the top. So the front rim of your pelvis, you have to roll it back too and back. So your hips are square, ideally. Now extend your torso forward, lifting up as much as you can, and then roll your right ribs down and around and turn your rib cage. Yeah. And then outer left knee to outer left hip, pull your hips back, lift that front rim of the right pelvis up so it doesn't collapse. And again, roll your ribs around. Roll your, yes, good. Then you can take your top arm up. Good. Left hip, left knee to left hip to right hip, Fernanda. Move your left hip towards your right hip. Yeah, left hip is the front leg hip. Move it, yeah, move it towards the other hip. Stay there and breathe. Don't turn your head. Yeah, okay. Outer left knee to outer left hip a little towards the right hip. Yes, and back. Good. Yes, firm and lift. Don't collapse into the inner back foot and roll the right ribs around. So you're trying to bring this shoulder towards Tony. Keep going this way. Yes. Yes. Don't take your head. Yes. Good. Take a breath. Open the chest, open the back, inner front foot, outer back foot. Pull the hips back. Exhale. You lower your top hand to your hip. Look down. Lower your top hand to your hip, to your hip, to your hip, to your hip, to your hip. Yeah, look down. And then use the right arm and lift up. Come to lift it all the way up and back to the side. Yes. Good. Okay. Turn your feet and step your legs together. Namaste. Couple of breaths. Soft knees. Soft and firm joints, right? Yeah. Inner groins back, Suma. Yes. More. More. Yes. Feel how tall you just got? Yes. Good. Good. Good, Fernanda. Chin back a little. Good. Beautiful. Arms back a little. Arms back more, Fernanda. Yes. Good. Yes, Tony. Good. Lift your torso, rib cage up. Any amount, Emily, any amount. Turn your palms a little more back. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Good. Straight legs, Johanna. Straight knees. Yes. Straight knees. Completely open. Yes. Yes. Good. Okay. Now turn around and do the other side. Okay. So your left foot and have the block in front, right? Left foot is both feet parallel. Just check your feet and firm, right? Press into the outer feet, lift the energy up of the legs, hands to hips, pull your pants up. And then you lift your left heel and turn, right? So your left heel goes to the wall, bend and turn your right leg and check that you're heel to heel or a little wider. Don't go narrower, right? And then outer right knee to outer right hip. Roll the left buttock around, back of the left thigh around, press into the inner front foot as you lift the kneecap, press into the outer back foot even as you roll the left buttock around. Yeah, that's it. Good. Turn your hips to the front, hands to hips. Good. Lift your pubic, descend your buttock, curl your tailbone, and press into the outer back foot. Roll to the, yes, and feel how when you press, go, 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 even more, go as much as you can. Yeah. And bring the left buttock around and the outer right knee to the outer right hip. Soften the front knee a little. Do not hyperextend. Yes. Good. Firm your waist. Keep your right hand on your hip. Inhale, take your left arm up. And then exhale, as you come down, right? You keep pulling that outer right knee to the outer right hip. Roll the left buttock around. It'll come down more, right? And then your hips are even, right? As you come down, and then you bring the hand on the block close to the foot and draw that line again, outer right knee to outer right hip. Hook your thumb there, pull the hip back, roll the left thigh into internal rotation even as you press into the outer back foot. But don't collapse that left rim of the pelvis, right? Lift it up and pull the hips back towards the rope wall. Hand to hip, extend the torso, and then roll the left ribs down and around, roll the right ribs into the spine. Yes, stay there and breathe. Good. Yes, good. Turn more. Keep your hand to your hip for now, right? Bring this a little closer, soften this knee just a little, press into the inner front, outer back foot, right? And pull the outer right knee to the outer right hip, pull the right hip back and extend the right side of the waist. Yes. And then roll the left ribs down, roll the right ribs into the spine. Yeah. And lift that right the left rim of the pelvis up and move the hips back even as you extend. Yes, just like you did with the rope wall. That's it. Now take the arm up and it's glorious. And breathe. Open chest. Don't turn the head. Yeah, just look straight ahead or even down. Yeah, but keep working with the hips, right? Outer right knee to outer right hip and roll that front rim of the left pelvis up off the ground. So both hips are even. Bend your front knee a little, okay? Yes, there, you're a little wide as usual. Yes, there we go. Good. Now, extend the torso. Not here. not this. Yes. Now revolve, hand to hip. Now roll your left ribs around and down and across. Yes. Keep going towards your right foot with your left ribs and torso. Yes. Yes. Keep going. Don't lean back. Lean towards Tony. Yes. 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 Extend the torso. Revolve the torso. Hips back, torso forward. Revolve and then take the top arm up. Okay. Yes. Okay. Or just keep the hand on the hip, right? Don't go too wide. You lose all stability. What? You could, but we're not doing that today. Okay, and then come down. So when you come down, take your hand to your hip, bottom arm up and turn and come out. Yes. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you absolutely can. But I wanted you to try to feel, how can you do that for yourself, mimicking what the ropes did for you in down dog kind of thing, okay? So now we're gonna sit down. So wait, first just stand in Samastitihi for a moment and sort of reestablish your foundation. Yeah, good, and breathe. And take your thumbs down, not forward. Yes. And take your thumb side of the wrist more down, Faina. Yes. And then even the wrists. So they're not, yes. There you go. Even. Yes. And then let the energy, the prana flow through all the parts of your body. So you're not, so the inner muscles kind of hug to the bones, but the skin is soft and prana flows. So you're straight, but there's energy moving. You're not hard and tight, right? Yes. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I'm going to take a snapshot of you right now. Because I want you to see it and feel it. It's really pretty good. Okay, so then we're going to sit down. Okay, but we're going to stand up again. So you're going to sit on a block, the hand block. Okay, keep the other block where it is, and then you're going to keep your right knee bent in Marichyasana and turn around and just bring your right hand to the wall. So you want your elbow a little bit bent, right? So you can use the wall to twist. That's maybe too far away. So let's get a little closer. I think you're too close, Emily. That looks pretty good, Johanna. So turn your hand like this, Faina, up. Yes, yeah, that looks good, Tuman. Okay, so now sit in Dandasana. You can use your fingertips on the ground, sacrum in and up, firm your knees. Don't push your knees down, but rather squeeze the thighs in. Yeah, and lift the chest up. Yes, bring your hands more back, Fernanda. Good, now look here, look here. The sacrum is dropping. So you've got to draw the sacrum in and up. Yes, and keep your hands down. I'm coming for you. Breathe. Lean a little forward, Faina, if you can. Yes, and then sacrum in and up, chest up, shoulders back. Just like you were doing in Tadasana, chin back a little, Faina. Chin, yes. There you go. You can't quite get in here. So I'll use my hand. So, just good enough. Enough. Push, push. This. Yeah. Good. Okay. Yeah, getting to know your hips. Now keep your lift of your hips. Yes, and bend your right knee into Marichyasana. Okay, so you can take the tendons behind the knee apart, hold the shin and lift upright. Yep. Yes, now you can do it easier with one leg bent. Yes, totally. And then you're going to turn around so you can bring your right hand on your thigh. You can move the thigh a little bit in, right? Inhale, lift your left arm up. Try not to sink on the right, right? And turn, and then you bend the elbow. And now you can go a little bit down. So you try to get more of the upper arm on the side of the thigh. Then you're going to bring your knee back, right? And in this position, the straight leg, draw it back and the bent knee forward a little, okay? Lift and turn. Then you bring the right hand on the wall, draw the shoulder blade down, pull the paint down on the wall, and push the knee and arm together and turn. Yes, good. Oh, don't hold the ropes, Tony. Put your hand on the wall, palm up. Yes, there you go. So you're too close. Come away from the wall. You're too close. Yeah, good. You might be a little too far. Come away, come closer. You're too far from the wall. Come down and move your block back. Yeah. So, and if it's too much to hook, then you can just hug, okay? Right? And then you use this hand to push and pull to help, yes, crank around. Let me have this arm. Yes, there you go. And then don't turn your head. because then we turn the head and nothing else moves and we think we're doing it. Okay, so turn your ribs, turn your chest. Yes. You okay there? Yeah. Maintain the action of Dandasana leg. Inject that into the hip socket. So the hips turn a little here, but you're trying to maintain this. And now move your right knee towards your toes. Yes. And then roll the right shoulder and ribs back. Turn, turn. Yes. Yes. Good. Gently release. Okay. And do the other side. So if you have to find the right distance from the wall. Take a minute. Okay. And then sit in Dandasana. Take a breath. Yeah. And then you change. So in this position, which way are the legs rolling in Dandasana? Internal rotation. And then you bend your left leg. And is your left leg an internal or external rotation? Well, what do you think? It's exactly the same as Dandasana. The knee is just bent. Internal rotation, right? And if internal doesn't mean this, right? It means so that everything points straight, okay? Otherwise it flops like this. And that's external. We have a lot of external. We don't have much internal. So the internal means, come on, take a moment and really see that that's in Dandasana. Yes. Then you can either hug or hook, right? Yes. Yes. Wait a minute. Sorry. Hug with your left arm. Lift your right arm up. Yeah. Lift and then turn. So you can push the knee in, hook the elbow or hug. Yes. Right. Yes. And the more you can get this foot back, the better. Yeah. Because then the shin is further back. Then you've got more to, otherwise it's more forward, it pulls you more forward, right? Yes. Good. And then you bring your left arm to the wall. Yeah. So you're a little too far from the wall. Come down. Okay, try that. Just stay there. Yeah, that's good. Don't overdo the toes. But think more of, I'm going to give this push. So inject the whole femur bone into the hip socket that way. Now move your left knee forward over your toes. Pashasana, Marichyasana means that it's a low lunge. Yes, like that. Yes, that way. And this draws back towards the rope. Yes. Yes. And then, yeah. Good, Fernanda, you're too close to the wall now. Yes. Yeah, and don't turn the head, remember. Turn the ribs, turn the chest. Yes, good. Hug, maybe try hugging instead. Actually, it's okay. How does it feel for you? Too much? It's good?
This side's tighter than the other one.
Okay, good. And don't overdo the toes. We tend to do that too much, right? Use the inner leg. You'll push this way. Now move your left knee forward over your toes more. Your knee, yes. And dig your arm down more. Yes. And push into the knee and the arm together and roll your left shoulder back. Come on, turn your ribs more. Yes, there you go. And this stays stable. Otherwise, if something's got to stay stable so something else can move, right? Stay stable. Good. Okay, gently release. Good. Okay. Extend your legs. We're going to do Parivrtta one more time, okay? So you can come standing when you're done, okay? And then you put the block, it's going to be on the inside edge, right, of your left foot. And you stand with your feet parallel and wide apart. Remember, don't go too wide, not too narrow. Try to find that sweet spot. And then you're going to lift your right heel and turn it in, right? And press that heel to the block. And then bend and turn your left leg out and adjust heel to heel or a little wider. Outer left knee to outer left hip, right buttock around, back of the right thigh around. Okay, yeah, good. Inner front foot, outer back foot. Good. Try to bring your hands to your waist and turn your hips more. Come on, turn. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, good. Okay, firm your waist. And soften the front knee and press the back leg back. Press into the outer back foot, inner front foot like a scissor. Yeah. Keep your hands to your hips and then straighten your right arm down. Inhale, raise your right arm up. Now, as you exhale, pull the outer left knee back to the outer left hip. You can hook that thumb, right? So that hip moves back as the right buttock comes down, but doesn't collapse, right? So the hip stays square and you extend both sides of the torso evenly. So you can bring your hand on the inside or the outside of the foot and keep pulling the left knee to the left hip and don't collapse the right rim of the pelvis, but move your sitting bones back as you extend the torso forward, and then roll your ribs around and down. Yes. Good. Yes, Emily. Good. Yes, extend the torso. Now roll the right ribs down and roll the left ribs up. And then once you're there, reassess the right rim of the pelvis up and back and both sitting bones back. Extend the torso forward and roll again. Bring the shoulder deeper in. Yes. Good. That beautiful. Press the right hip and thigh back, Tony. Yes, any amount. And the left hip too. And the outer left. Yes. And now extend the torso to the middle of the room. Don't go so much to Emily. Extend to the middle. More. Extend the torso as you pull the hips back and then turn. Now turn, keeping the extension and roll the left shoulder back. Bend the left knee just a little. So you have, yes. And roll the left shoulder back. Roll the ribs. Take the head back towards, yes. Tuck the chin. Yes, roll the left shoulder back and now take the arm up. Good. Beautiful. Roll the right rim of the pelvis back. Press the right thigh back. Outer left knee to outer left hip. Yeah, move the hips back towards the rope wall. Inner front foot, outer back foot. Come on, Fernanda, move your buttocks to the rope wall. Yes. Now take your left hand to your hip. Look down. Swing your right arm up and around to come out. Up and around the bottom arm. Yes, there you go. Good. Feet together. Samasthiti. What happened? You okay? Okay. You got dizzy? Yeah, trying too hard. Maybe. Yeah, it's long. I've been holding you long, but I'm hoping that you're getting some awareness of your hips moving one way, your torso moving the other, and not dropping and keeping square and then turning from the ribs and the shoulders, ideally. So that twist that we just did seated helps you try to get the shoulders around more, right? Do the other side. Turn around, do the other side. So stand with your feet hip. No, don't go right to the block, right? Move the hand block in front of you, the hand block, and then stand with your feet wide apart. Go wider, Faina, go wider. Go wider. There you go. Now stay there for a breath or two with your hands to your hips and firm your legs and firm your waist and firm your torso and pelvis. Everything firm, but a little bit soft, right? So find Sukhasana, like Sukha, Stiram Sukhamasana, right? Steadiness and ease, both ideally. So you're not just, oh, I just want to stretch and be lazy and comfortable. And I don't want to be just a strong, hey man, but I want to be a yogi. So the best of both worlds, okay? All right, so now you're gonna lift your heel and turn your heel to the block, right? So if you were too close, you can adjust your distance, right? And then bend and turn your right leg out. Yeah, outer right knee to outer right hip. Roll the left buttock around, back, yes. Press into the inner front foot, outer back foot. Don't collapse into the inner back foot. Press into the outer back foot, any amount, Fernanda. Outer back foot. Press it down, yes. Even as you pull the left hip around and outer right knee back to the outer right, yes. Lift the hips, good. That's it, okay? And then keep the right hand to the hip and inhale, raise the left arm up. Keep turning the hips. Now, as you exhale, you draw that outer right knee back to the outer right hip as you extend both sides of the torso evenly, right? Bring the left hand down. You can bring it on the inside or outside of the foot. Outer right knee to outer right hip. Left buttock rolls around, but not sinking. So you keep pulling the hips back and roll that front rim of the left pelvis back as you extend the torso forward. Get some distance between your waist and ribs, and then turn your rib cage. Right, left ribs down, right ribs up and around. Yes. Now for Faina, see if you can lower the block one notch and bring it closer to your foot. Yes. And do again. Good. That's it. Good. And then reassess the pelvis, right? Outer right knee to outer right hip. The left rim of the pelvis up and back. Move both hips back. But stick your butt out. Don't roll your sitting bones down. Lift your sitting bones up. Move them back to the rope wall. Yes. And then roll the right ribs down and around. Good. Yes. Roll the left shoulder open. Take your top arm up, right? And then both hips back, torso forward. Good. Breathe. Soften this knee. Soften. Press into the inner front foot, outer back foot. Breathe. Yes. Extend the torso out of the hips. Try not to use the arms so much, right? Use the leg. I'm coming away from you. Yes. Firm the hips. Good. Outer right knee back to outer right hip. Yes. Good. Breathe in and out successfully. Yes. Now turn your head down. Take your your top hand to your hip. Swing your bottom arm up and around to come out. Good. And then parallel your feet. Good. And step your legs together. Samasthiti. Good. Okay. Survival? Yes, Emily. Look how beautiful Emily is. Yeah. Head back a little is good though, Emily, there. Okay. I was gonna take your picture. Yeah. Okay, good. Now take your even Samasthiti. Yeah. So outer knees over outer ankles, outer hips over outer knees, shoulders over outer hips, ears over shoulders. Soften the effort, maintain the alignment. Inner groins back, Fernanda, any amount. So take your inner thighs back towards Suman. Yes. And then take the tailbone the slightest bit towards the pubic. Yes, that's enough. That's more. Yes. Just find the right amount of that adjustment. Yes. Straighten your legs a little, Suman, and take your inner groins back a little more. Yes. Good. Okay, now we'll do Prasarita Padottanasana. So you're going to take your legs wide, heels at the back of the mat, hands to your hips, feet parallel. Use a block or whatever you need for your head from your hips. Okay. Take the heels at the back edge of the mat so you know both your feet are on the same line. Okay, try to even them out. And just like we did before, outer press into the outer feet, lift the inner ankles, right? Lift the inner feet up to the inner knees to the inner thighs, widen the inner thighs, right? And then root down from the outer hips to the outer feet and roll across the top of the foot from the outer ankle to the big toe mound, right? And then you find that sweet spot of Tadasana feet. Lift your toes up. Yeah. Press into the outer edges of the feet if they roll in. Yes. And then outer ankles in a little to the big toes. Yes. And then place the toes down, right? So adjust your feet and knees and thighs, inner groins back. Yes. Good. Pubic up a little, tailbone forward. Yes. Hands to hips. Yes. And then when you take your hands to your hips, lift and roll your shoulders back. Draw the inner edge of the shoulder blades down, right? And then inhale, coil your spine in and up, look up like Ustrasana, camel pose. Maintain the head as you exhale, come down, hands under your shoulders. Stay in concave back, right? So widen the buttocks away from the side of the sacrum, and then use that to press into your outer feet, and then lift your inner ankles up through your inner knees to your inner groins and widen your pelvic floor. Hips back, torso forward. Find even length on the sides of your body. Hands more back, Suman, under your shoulders. Yes. Now chest forward of your shoulders. Shoulders back towards your hips. Yes. Hands back more. Chest more forward. Yes. Straight legs. Turn your left foot out a little. It's too much. Don't turn your toes into internal rotation. No. Heels in. Yes. More. Yes. More like that. Yes. Good. Head up. Head up. Be on your fingertips, Faina. Fingertips. Yeah. Now shoulders back. Chest forward. Bring your hands more back. Bring your hands more back. Chest more forward. Hands more back. Just your hands. The blocks are fine. Now, chest forward. Yes. You can bring the hands a little forward, but maintain the chest forward. Good. Straight arms, Tony. Straight arms. So your hands under your shoulders. Okay? Hands under the shoulders. Yes. Roll the shoulders back. Take the chest forward like you're doing cobra. Yes. Or upward facing dog. Yes. Now exhale and come down. Walk your hands back, palms flat, elbows in like chaturanga arms, push down and forward, shoulders up, head down. Okay. And if your head doesn't come all the way down to anything, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Keep your hands a little wider, Suman, shoulder width for the outer edges of the shoulders. That's a teeny bit too wide, but it's good. Bend the elbows. Yes. Push down into the hands, forward into the fingers. Good. Widen your inner thighs a lot and knees. No, not your feet. Bend your knees. Widen your knees. Yes. Wider. As wide as you don't lower your butt. Toggle your feet a little closer. I think you're a little too wide. Bend your knees. That's good. Now widen. Yes. Like that. Come on. Widen. Yes. Like a horse stance. Yes. A wide-legged horse stance. Yes. It's a little tight there. Now roll to the inner edge of the foot. Good. And then you slowly straighten up. Very, very slowly. Right. And forget if your head is on the block. Doesn't matter. Okay. You can always use 2 blocks or something. Okay. You can see what works. Okay. Good. Now bring your hands a little more forward so that when you bend your elbows, they're right under your wrist. And then you can adjust your distance. Hands can go more back, forward, doesn't matter. Shoulders up. Yeah, head down. Good. You okay there? Breathe. Work on straightening your legs slowly, 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 not by pushing the knees back, by pressing down here and release. See if you can, don't push. Release these up. Release. Yeah. Okay. And have even weight in your legs hands and head. Palms flat, Diana. Palms flat. Yeah. Good. Okay. Here. And at the same time, in, yeah. No, elbow over wrist. Lift the shoulders up. Shoulders up. This way. Yeah. Head down. Shoulders up. Yes. Make a long neck. Yes. Good. Straight legs. Slowly. Good. Bend your knees a little. Toe heel your feet closer. You're way too wide. Closer. Yeah. You have a short torso and long legs. Much better for you to just build your head higher than make your legs as wide as you possibly can. Yes. Yes. Now we're talking. Better?
Mhm.
It's the top of the head, like headstand.
Nice.
Yep. That's it. Wrist crease point straight ahead. In your elbows back, like chaturanga, push down and forward. Shoulders up. Yes. That's it. Good. How is that? Looks good. Good. Might as well use it. Shoulders up, head down. Good. Okay. And then inhale up. Just lift your head up, and you can don't walk your hands forward if possible. Instead, just let your wrists lift up, but still be on your fingers. And now you can toe heel your feet in a little, just as enough so that you can widen your buttocks, press into the outer feet, soften the inner knees, pull the waist in, hands to hips, lift the front rim of the pelvis up off the thighs to come up. And then step your legs together. Namaste. Very good. Okay. It's already 11. I know. Legs up the wall. Okay. So you can choose hips on the bolster or not, but I think hips on the bolster is a good idea. Okay. And have a fist width distance from the bolster, or you can use a blanket or 2 blankets, right? So that it's Viparita Karani. But if that does not sit well in your body, then don't do it. Okay. Do what works for you. The reason I like this is because it's like a combination of bridge and shoulder stand. And then it's very, very restful. It's going to soften your groins, lift your chest, hollow your abdomen. So Tony, move the bolster a little closer to the wall, I think. Try that. Now use the ropes to go closer in. Yeah, there you go, as close as you can. Yep. Good. Yes. How's that? Huh?
That's good.
Yeah. So your shoulders are down. Before your shoulders weren't down. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that nice? It's such a good shape. Yes, of course. Yeah. Oh, you can put it on if you want and use this. Okay. You good? Okay. Do you need anything, Johanna? You comfortable? Okay. What are you laughing about? Comfortable, haha? You're not. So- Your hips are, yes, definitely. Okay, now just bend your knees and lift your hips like bridge pose. You don't even need the ropes. Just push into the wall and lift your hips as high as you can. Don't turn your head. Yeah, so that's bridge, right? So you can do that. Now you're moving this just a little more back. Okay, now lower down. Yep, is that okay?
Yes.
Good. So then with your shoulders, so relax. Actually, yeah. So yeah, you can do it that way. That's good too, right? So somehow you have to figure it out, but I'm going to give you a little, don't do it with me.
Okay.
Just see if you can like let it release, right? And just feel how that feels different. Yeah. So you can do that one. Okay. And then relax. Yeah. So the chest is lifted a little bit like bridge, right? So, and then this is hollow and soft and spread. So all the organs can spread on the back body. Now widen your feet a little bit. Yeah. Let the inner thighs roll back, the back thighs and buttocks broaden. So there's that internal rotation of the thigh. And then let the hamstrings, see if you can find a way to release. Get it tight. You're a runner or something. Let it tight here. Yeah.
was.
You were a recovering Catholic, recovering runner. Like my husband's friend, he does osteopathy and he'll do like MRIs and see where he needs to do. And he's like, hamstrings, the usual, like totally shredded, shredded hamstring. Yeah. So allow those to soften and broaden and let the buttocks drop. Sitting bones drop. Down. Not up this way, the other way. So there's a curve in your lower back. So this goes in and this goes down. Yes, that direction. Okay. Yeah, so your inner groins deepen. Yeah, and don't harden your feet and toes. Okay. But you can every once in a while take a look and see what's going on and maybe lift the inner heels a little more and adjust, right? And then relax the upper. So Fernanda, bring your legs a little apart so there's space for your inner thighs and pelvic floor. Yeah. So that, yes. So yes, you can feel the inner groins move back and broaden the back thighs and buttocks. Yes, and descent. Yes. You were squeezing, right? Don't squeeze. Right. This soften, release, and this drop there. Yeah. We'll be here for a little while. And remember, it isn't the hotel counseling. Yeah? So you really can leave if you need to leave. But otherwise, we will stay a little longer, right? So you can always free to go if you need to. I'm going to give you this. Flex your feet, Fernanda. Flex your feet. Yep. That's point. Yeah. No, keep your legs on the wall. Don't lift your buttocks. Drop your buttocks. Drop your buttocks. Drop your buttocks. Your butt down. There. Keep going down till your butt touches the ground. That's the direction. Good. So everyone but Fernanda, if you want, you can do Baddha Konasana. And if you don't want, just stay. Okay, so you feel how that's directing the femur bones. Yes, that direction. Yes. Okay. If it becomes too much, just bend your knees, lower your feet, and remove the sandbag. So bend your knees and lift your hips. Yep. Yeah, it's a little too much. Okay, now lower down and use the ropes. You can get a little closer. Okay. Okay, now arms down. Yeah. So your shoulders were elevated before. See, now they're not. I'm gonna get you a sandbag too. And buttocks down. Yep. Do it with your feet a little closer. Yeah. Inner feet up, outer feet down. Yeah. And then inner groin towards the rope ball and down towards the ground. Yes. That way. Okay. Okay, so we'll take 3 more minutes. So you can stay with your legs straight or you can do variations if you choose. So Fernanda, move back a little now. Just scoot your body back a little. Yes. Now see if you have a little more. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Don't lift your groins up, Fernanda. Drop your inner thighs and groins. No, the other way. Down. Yes. Maintain that even as your legs open. Yes. Yeah. Right. So even though your legs are doing this, right? Your inner groin is moving that way. No, sitting bones down. Yes. Take them up. Yes. Arch your lower back. Yes. Let this drop in. That's the move. So now your pelvic floor is getting wide. Mm-hmm. Yes. Don't curl the sitting bones. Drop them that way. Yes. Okay. Yeah. 2 more minutes. Take a little deeper breath. And then when you're ready, bend your knees and slide your feet down the wall. And then just push yourself back, roll side to side. So your buttocks comes off the bolster. And then feet together, knees apart, Baddha Konasana, feet on the bolster. You can have your toes at the wall, toes pointing apart from each other. Or you can have your feet just on the bolster and off. Yeah. Mhm. So your feet are elevated, Johanna. Are your feet on the blanket? Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, move back a little more, Faina, so that your legs have a chance to release. Yeah, even more. Yeah, yes, yes. And let the legs release. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good. And then inhale and bring your legs together and bring your feet a little hip width apart. Take a breath and then roll over onto your side and rest a couple of breaths on your side. Yep. And then when you're ready to come up, you pull your waist in, use your arms, look down, don't use your back. Yep. And then coming up, sit on your bolster or on the ground. And we'll do our closing chant, Om together, call and response for the mid part. So take namaste, lift your heart. Deep breath in for Om. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Take a little deeper breath, lifting the heart. Exhale, release the head, chin down towards the chest. Release the hands to the thighs and pause here. Draw the tailbone towards the pubis, lift the pelvic floor. Lift the ribs up off the hips and widen the diaphragm and draw the sides of the waist a little back. As you release the head more, soften the front of the throat and curl the tip of the chin in towards the notch at the clavicles. And keep your sense of self in your heart center, front, back, and sides. And with your eyes closed on an inhale, curl up the back of your neck, ears over the shoulders. Raise your gaze to level, soften and broaden your internal gaze. And again, drop into your heart center. Feel, sense, see, hear, smell from there in all directions. And then allow your eyelids to gently float open. Namaste. Thank you. Okay.
Have a good day.
Have a good week. This week